So Val, how do I choose? Well, don't choose, use both. And I'm going to tell you how this works. So if someone had told me years ago that I could use these two astrological systems to basically maximize my strengths, minimize my weaknesses, and monetize my life, I would have been like, give me, give me, give me. But at the same time, I've had my doubts with astrology because it's not as practical as some of the other sciences like organic chemistry or biology. But I will tell you, since I've learned about these systems, a lot has changed in my life. It's been very transformational, and I just cannot sit on this information or gatekeep it. I must share it with the community because even though I'm sure some are hip, I really want to do my part to share the knowledge that I've been so fortunate to learn. So here we go. Stay tuned for some really good working power information. So Western astrology has a seasonal focus, meaning that it focuses on the position of the sun in relation to the earth to make its calculations. Vedic astrology has a constellational focus, meaning that it uses the fixed stars in the skies for its calculations. So Western astrology is psychologically focused, or it focuses on the idea of free will, that a person's choices influence their future and that their individual psychology does impact their life events. Vedic astrology is different. It has this fate or karmic focus. The idea that a person's fate is determined by their actions in this lifetime and the past lifetime. So basically, you come into this world with karmic debt, and what that debt plus what you do determines a lot of what happens in your external world. Western astrology is a little more modern, while Vedic astrology is a little more ancient, meaning that Western astrology came about way after Vedic astrology was here. So now let's get into the fine points of these systems, right? Another difference is that Western astrology is very sun focused. It focuses on the sun as a planet that makes most of its calculations. Your sun sign is the sign you usually say when people ask you what's your sign, at least if you live in the US. And you say, boom, blank sign, right? So that sign is what you think of yourself as, or AKA it's your identity, right? But Vedic astrology is different. It focuses on the moon as the main planet. And the moon in astrology represents your mind and emotions. So what's going on in your head and how this kind of determines what plays out around you, is the focus of Vedic astrology. So Vedic astrology is way more detailed than Western astrology, and this has to do with the fact that it is the more ancient system, so it has a lot more of the details, and research kind of shows that because of this more detailed system, it is slightly more accurate. So I want you to come to that conclusion on your own, but what I'm here to tell you is that I don't really think you should choose one or the other. I think that you can get a lot out of both systems. So I'm going to keep things really simple. We can get into the deeper terminology as we move together in this journey, but let's just keep it simple for now. Let's use Virgo in Western astrology, an earth sign, to compare it to a Leo in Vedic astrology, a fire sign, and see how these two energies come into play. Virgos as earth signs are very grounded. They're practical, they value well-being, they're very down to earth, and they're very intelligent. Every sign is intelligent, but earth signs have that real world intelligence. Compared to Leos, who are a fire sign, they're very exuberant, they're passionate, they have an art for performance, they are very magnetic, they're a people person. So as an earth sign in Western astrology, a Virgo, and a fire sign in Vedic astrology, Leo, you can combine these two to come out with someone who basically is practical, a practical individual with a calm temperament and strong analytical and intellectual capabilities, who also can be very sociable, assertive, with a fiery temper that's likely dormant unless it is unconsciously triggered. So if he or she had considered traditional Virgo careers such as a nutritionist, a systems analyst, a doctor, or technician, they could also soar in Leo careers like acting, business management, PR relations, and so on. So I really feel like because I've always known Western astrology, I've seen myself strictly as one sign. But as I learned about Vedic astrology, it brought into play other talents I had that are hidden because Vedic astrology is a very unconscious or subconscious system. So I feel like putting the two together kind of brings more things to light. It's kind of like coming to a barbecue with like not just drinks but with food too. You're equipped to make a lot of decisions without having to go through the 25, 50, and 75 years of living to really truly understand your strengths and weaknesses. And that's why I would say learning about astrology is major. It's like pulling out your soul in front of you and putting it on a paper to see the blueprint of how you work. And you don't need astrology to do that, for sure, but it isn't bad to kind of have a cheat sheet of how your mind works and how your body runs and how you work, because we are animals, we are computers, so it's like having a handbook of how this computer works before you start using it. So I would really recommend just considering at least the system, one of the systems. If you're really interested in learning about how your individual signs come into play, let me know in the comments below and I can consider taking this a little bit further. But yeah, I really just wanted to break this down to you in the quickest way possible and see if you're interested. I'm gonna recap everything for you really quick, okay? So Western astrology, seasonal focused. Vedic astrology, constellational focused. Western astrology, psychologically focused. Vedic astrology, fate focused. Western astrology, sun focused. Vedic astrology, moon focused. Western astrology, free will. Vedic astrology, karma. Western astrology, more modern. Vedic astrology, more ancient. And yeah, I really enjoy talking about this. I hope it was enjoyable for you just learning about it really quick. And I will give a little caveat for myself. I've noticed that Vedic astrology, honestly, it is very accurate. It's only talking about the nature, and nurture also comes into play. But at the same time, I have noticed that what it foretells happening in the real world is about 80% accurate. So far, right? I still have a lot to go and a lot to learn as an individual myself. But I wanted to share this with you guys because I've told some friends about it, some people close to me, and after doing their analysis, they've been like, wow. And through time, they've kind of used that to propel themselves. So please know that any information on yourself, it is so important to learn about yourself. Like, you are the most important person in your life. Please do not take it for granted that we have all this information to learn. If you meet someone you're really into, you're gonna wanna know more about them. So wanna know more about yourself too, and have it in forms that make it easier for you, systems that are already created. Thank you so much for listening. I really enjoyed making this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment. Let me know how I did, what I can be better at, if it was too long, if it was too short, and I'll make these changes as we move forward. Bye. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to move forward with purpose.